Hi guys, thanks for giving up a little bit of your lunchtime. I know you guys are busy, so I won't keep you long. We're taking a look, the safety committee here at the school and in the division, at some of our protocols and policies. And one that we're going to just take a look at today is severe summer weather. So I just took a snippet from our division policy, and we're going to take a look at what would we do in the event of a tornado. Okay, so today we're just going to briefly take a look at a watch versus a warning. I just threw a slide on here and it's in your handout package about what's the basics of a tornado. I have included in the package the school division policy and the checklist. Then we're going to talk a little bit, this is my most important situation today, is the pre-planning stage. Are you ready? What would we do if there actually was a tornado today? And then we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts, things that we want to share with the kids in the case of an evacuation. I want to walk you through and show you a quick little video that I did of the drill process. What do we do after an evacuation within our classroom, as a staff, and as a division. And then we're going to wrap it up and we'll get back to lunch and you guys can get back to your marking. Okay, so if there's some of you out here who are not nerds like me on your Weather Network channel, a weather watch is just conditions that indicate that severe weather may occur. The weather warning means the severe weather has developed and may be moving into the specific area. So weather warning is what would be watched by the division office, and then they would let administration know that there was a situation and that we might be in a situation where an evacuation might take place. Okay, what's a tornado? So that's in your package. I'll go through this real quick. It's just a violent rotating column of air extending from a thunderstorm to the ground. They move fast, 50 kilometers an hour, and the rotating speeds can reach up to 180 kilometers an hour plus. So they can do a lot of damage, and that's why we have to be aware of what to do in that case. If you looked out your classroom window, you might see a greenish colored sky, which sounds odd, but that's the case usually when there is a tornado. And we have them here in Saskatchewan. Okay, we are sort of the tornado alley of Canada, and they occur between 3 and 9 p.m. most often, and so that's why we need to really be aware of what to do in this situation, because that is the tail end of our school day, and so we might encounter something like this. Okay, safety tips, tornadoes and schools. So I think we all know, it's pretty much common sense, that there's absolutely no safest place guaranteed from a tornado. But if we can put as many walls between us and the actual inclement weather from the outside, okay, we're in a better situation to keep ourselves and the kids safe. So where would we seek shelter in a situation? Ideally in the basement, but we know we have 800 students and staff here, and so not all of us are going to fit in the basement drama room. So where are we going to be? Probably in the interior hallway. And when I show you the video of our quick drill, I'll show you where we went, right? That gives us 2 layers of thick brick away from walls and windows. Okay, so what to do before severe weather strikes, because it's a little too late after. So we've done a little bit of this. We've done the gathering of information, discuss the hazards of inclement weather with students, right? What are we going to do here in a school where we're in charge of all these kids if bad weather comes along? So we actually have a school division policy. We're going to locate a safe room. That's already been done for us. Okay, but we just haven't talked about it as a staff. When I asked you guys to come up here, none of you guys knew. Like, I don't know, we have no safe zone. I didn't even know we did. We're supposed to, so that's what we're going to look at. Okay, what's the escape room from our classroom? We all have the escape room, escape route for our fire drills. Okay, and what do we do in the event of a lockdown? We move to the corner of the room. But I don't think our kids have ever heard us talk about what are we going to do if we have to evacuate because of bad weather. So we're going to talk about that. The other thing is we just have to hold the line on no cell phones. That's us personally, and making sure that the kids don't tie up emergency lines, and again, create a little bit more panic than maybe we need to. And then the other main thing, and this goes with every safety plan, is we need to practice it, we need to maintain it. So we need to do the odd drill, and then afterwards we need to debrief as a staff, and I think we really need to involve the kids. Okay? Do we know where the meeting place is, the telephone numbers, the safety rules? And I really think it's important that we answer the kids' questions. Okay, we all want to make sure everyone's on board with this. Okay, so this is what I talked about with my students before we did the drill. Okay, do's of an evacuation, just like a fire drill, just like a lockdown. Okay, we want to stay calm, but in this case we want to lock the windows and doors. We want to pull the blinds down. Okay, before we move out into the hallway, we want to make sure we shut the door. As we move into the hallway, we want a nice seal there. And then we're going to hold. We're going to wait there. We're going to remain calm. And we're not going to move. We're not going to think, well, we don't hear the wind anymore. We're going to wait for administration and emergency services to tell us it's okay to go back. Okay, what don't we want to do? We don't want to overreact. That's the same thing even with a fire drill, and we know in lockdown some of the kids get a little bit of anxiety about that. We don't want them to call home or friends. Again, we want to keep those lines clear, and we don't want to go home if we're already at school. We don't want kids to think there's bad weather coming, I'm going to get in my car and try and make a run for it. We know that if we have a plan here in place and we have a safe zone, that's where those kids should be. Okay, so the division protocol is actually called danger from outside preventing evacuation. So we can't leave the building, so we have to have protocol. What are we going to do if severe weather comes? Our internal contacts, division office, okay, we all know that number. It should be posted all by your phones. And our external contact, emergency 911. If we really feel that there's some severe weather we haven't heard yet from administration, okay, we're gonna call. We're gonna see if we can get some help. Okay. So we have a checklist, and I've included that in your package so you can take a look at it. We can talk about it later. We're going to call emergency services. We're going to call the superintendent of school operations in charge of safety. We're going to have identified our safe areas in the school, so we're all going to try and plan that before our next staff meeting next Wednesday. Okay? We want to know how to escort students to those designated safe areas. What do we do? What's our route? Where are we going to be? When the situation is clear, okay, we are going to return to class, just like we would in a fire drill, just like we would in a lockdown, okay, as long as it's appropriate and it's safe. We're not going to answer any questions from the media, again, just like a lockdown, just like a fire drill, just like any sort of situation, we're going to let the board office handle that. Okay, and then our admin is going to prepare a memo or a letter, just like we always do, and that's going to get sent home. And then, of course, we're going to have an emergency staff meeting. So we're going to try and get some of this planned before we have to have an emergency staff meeting. Okay, now I've listed the specifics and I've given them to you. Those come right from the division policy book, okay? And it just talks about moving people to a safe area, waiting for an all clear, wait for emergency services, and prepare a memo for parents. Okay, so this is the little video that I had with my kids. Triangle is looking like this. What is this side here called?
Code 222 tornado.
Okay, everyone remain calm. We're going to go to our safe place. Make sure you keep your cell phones put away. Okay, Jericho, when you get those doors, remember, we want to be away from the doors and windows. We want to be in a safe zone. Okay, we're going to stay calm. Keep our cell phones put away. And we're just going to wait for the all clear.
All clear.
Okay, it looks like we can head back to class. Good job, guys. That was an excellent drill. Okay, so there's a few things that we did well there. There's a few things that I think we'd probably practice a little bit more with the drill. But overall, I felt it was really successful. And the reason why I felt it was successful is that the kids and I talked about it after. And they really want to get involved. They thought it was interesting. And they have lots and lots of questions for us too. So I think what we should do is we should reconvene at the staff meeting. And we'll take another look at that. So thanks again for coming today.